Hey guys, what's up? This is a section 2.3 notes. We're solving multiple step equations. So we've done one step, we've done two step, we've done fractions. Now we're just solving multiple steps. It's gonna be a bunch of stuff thrown at us, and we gotta put all that together and remember the small rules. Okay. One of the main rules to remember is our distribution property. Okay, we need to make sure that we are distributing. All right, so if we have like a term on the outside, and we have that x plus like 2 on the inside, we need to make sure that is one of the first things we do is distribute that 2 to the inside. Okay. Most of you guys did an awesome job with distribution. Make sure that you remember to do that step. And what operation is distribution? Well, it is multiplication. All right, it's multiplication right there. Whoop. All right. So multiplication when we distribute. Next thing is combining like terms. Well, remember, when we combine like terms, we need to have variables. So our variables need to be same variable. Let's change the size of this guy. We got the same variable, and we have to have the same exponents. So remember, the letter needs to be the same, or letters like x and y, and then the exponents need to be the same. So that little 2, the little 3, the little 4, whatever is up in that top corner needs to be the same. So such as 2x squared plus 4x squared. Those both have the same variable. They both have x. They both have the same exponent, right? So we can combine those to get 6x squared. Little 2. There you go. 6x squared. All right. So we need to remember to distribute. We need to remember that we can combine like terms, and we need to remember that we need to keep both sides of the equation balanced. So whatever we do to one side, we always do to the other side. If we can remember those three things, this makes it a lot easier. All right. So think first. The very first thing you want to think of is, can I distribute? Okay, that's the first thing you should ask yourself. Can I distribute? And then after you distribute, after you do this step right here, the second thing you need to ask yourself is, then what like terms can I combine? Those are the two main things that you need to make sure you're asking yourself before you fully solve the equation. All right, let's try a few now that we have kind of a basis there. All right, so is there anything to distribute? Well, there's no parentheses. If there's no parentheses, we can't distribute. So no. Okay, now we combine like terms. Is there anything on this side of the equation that we can combine? Yes, we can combine these two right here. A 13 minus 2. Now we do not do the opposite of negative 2. That's only when we bring it to the other side of the equation. Okay, when it's on the same side of the equation, we just add and subtract as it says right there. So this says 13 minus 2. We just do 13 minus 2, which is 11 plus 3x equals 5. Okay. When we combine like terms, we do not need to keep the equation balanced. We don't need to do it to the other side. We are just simplifying one side of the equation. What we have right now is still the exact same as what we have up here. Okay, we just simplified it, so we didn't change anything. We're not. Okay, so at this point, though, there's nothing else to combine besides things that are on the opposite side of the equation. So what we need to do is start isolating the variable. In order to isolate the variable, we need to bring the 11 to the other side of the equation. Okay. We do it to both sides because we're bringing it from one side to the other. 11 minus 11 is 0. That's what we want. We are left with 3x. And then 5 minus 11 is negative 6. Okay. Then we have our very last step, which is division. So we're going to go ahead and divide by 3 because that is the opposite of 3 times x. Divide by 3, we treat both sides equally. And we are left with x equals -2. That is our answer. Now, like always, we can always check our answer. So we can plug it into this first part of the equation or the second part because this is the same thing as this. Okay, it's just simplified. So I'm going to plug it into the second part, which is 11 plus 3 times -2 equals 5. And let's see if I did my work right. Well, this 3 times -2 is -6. -6 plus 11 is 5. I did my work right. I don't have to go back and check anything else. Boom, correct. All right, so that's a multi-step equation. We'll do 2 more here. We'll do all 3 of these, and then you guys are going to do some on your own down here. So next up, first step, is there anything to distribute? No. Is there anything I can combine? Yes. We have a 2x and an x. Those two can go combined. This is a +1. This is a +2, which gives us a +3x. Add them together, 3x plus 4 equals 12. Now, not much has changed there from last section, guys. We did 1 extra step, and you guys already destroyed questions like this on the quiz. You guys did an awesome job with this. Now we subtract 4 from both sides, because at this point, we just want to isolate the x, or our variable. So we're going to subtract 4, subtract 4. All right, at this point, we are left with 3x equals 12, 8. All right. And then our last step here is going to be to divide. And we are left with x equals, and we are left with x equals 8/3. All right, so that is a fraction, obviously. And we can have fractions, okay? We try not to, but we can have fractions. So what we could do at this point is we can check our work to see if that works. Okay, so I can go ahead and plug it into this question. I can do 3 parentheses 8/3, right? Plus 4. And that does equal 12. So you can see in my calculator, I checked my work, 8 plus 8/3, or 3 times 8/3 plus 4, and it does equal 12. So I plugged this into my equation right there, and it looked a little bit like this, in my calculator at least. I did 3 parentheses, 8 divided by 3, plus 4. And that came out true. It equaled 12. Okay. So yes, technically we don't always give you guys fraction answers, but you can't always just assume it's wrong. Sometimes you just need to go back and check, okay, was that right? And we checked our work. It was right. So we're good to go. All right. Next up. Oh, right off the bat, I see, okay, I have to distribute. So right away, I'm going to take this 6. I'm going to distribute to both of these. 6 times x is 6x. 6 times 3, 18. And that's going to equal 4. Awesome, awesome. So now you guys have the hang of this for sure by now. We need to get our variable by itself. So what is the opposite of addition? The opposite of addition is subtraction. I'm going to subtract 18 from both sides. I notice that I'm subtracting a bigger number away from a smaller number, which means I'm going to end up with a negative. So we have 4 minus 18. 4 minus 18 is going to give you a negative 14. All right. And that we're going to bring set equal to 6x. Last but not least, divide by 6 on both sides. These cancel out, and we are left with x equals 6, 12, 18. Oh, shoot. Okay, so we're going to have a fraction again, right? So I can go 14 divided by 6. I'll double check. Yeah, so it's 2.33. We have a fraction there. Okay, let's check our work to make sure we did it right. So I'm going to do 6 parentheses. I'm going to put in my negative 14, ABC 6. So my negative 14 over 6 plus 3, parentheses, and we get the answer of 4. Okay, so you can see I checked my work. It was a fraction again. And I got the answer of 4, so it was the correct answer. So although I got a fraction here, my answer came out as correct. And the way I put that one into my calculator is just like this. So I did 6 parentheses to represent this parentheses. Then I did another set of parentheses to put the fraction in there. So I want the calculator to read that this is a fraction. So then I did my negative 14 over 6. I closed that parentheses, added my plus 3, and then closed the whole parentheses. So notice that I've just put my x, the negative 14 over 3, in that parentheses. That's how I checked my work. It turned out good, so I know I did it right. All right, last but not least, we have a negative now. So we're doing the negative 4 to both of these. Negative 4 times x gives us negative 4x. And then negative 4 times 1 gives us minus 4. So I see I'm working with some negatives here. And then I can put my equals 13 on this side, and it means the same thing. So all I did was bring my 13 to the other side because I like to read from left to right. If you kept it over here, though, that is just fine. All right. At this point, I am going to split this up. I have nothing to combine, no terms. So I'm going to go ahead and add 4 to the other side. We get 17. Again, oh no, 17 equals negative 4x. I know 4 doesn't go into 17. That's why I said, oh no, we have a fraction again. Divide both sides by negative 4 because this is multiplication right here. So I have to do the opposite, which is division. So I divide both sides by that negative 4. And I'm left with 17 over 4. Now I can check. I know that's going to be a decimal, but I can always check, okay, does that simplify 17 divided by 4? It does not. It's 4.25. All right. So it's like $4.25. But now we need to check, does that work? Okay, or did I do my math wrong? So I'm going to put negative 4 parentheses again, and I'm going to put that negative 17 divided by 4 in my calculator. And then I need to put that plus 1 and then close my parentheses. I do get 13 as my answer, so I know I did that right. Okay. I'm going to type out how I put that in my calculator. What I did was negative 4 parentheses again, and I put negative 17 over 4. I just put the negative with the top number. The whole thing is negative. It doesn't matter whether it goes to the top or the bottom, so we always put it with the top. So negative 17 over 4 plus 1 parentheses. If you plug that into your calculator right there, you're going to get 13 as your answer. It works. We check it. We circle it. We move on. Okay. So there we go. We did the top 4 for you guys. You guys are going to go ahead and do these, and we're going to give you time in class to check with your partners and do some of them together, and we're going to do some of them with you guys. Obviously, you have distributing, and these two are just like combine your like terms right away and then solve. All right. So yeah, we're going to give you time in class to do these. We'll have you check your answers with us or with a partner, and then we'll move on from there. So this is multi-step equations 2.3. Let us know if you have questions.